Welcome back to this Follow Your Calling series of live videos on following your calling. Today we're talking all about how to attract divine provision. So this is something that, alongside people pleasing, is pretty much right up there with the main things that stop us from wanting to or having the courage to step forward in what it is that we want to do, or that we feel drawn to do, or that we really love to do. And I've been there. I've seen many people be there and it's a suffocating, stifling, really limiting place to be when you have an inspiration inside you that wants to be lived, yet you have that jail cell of the mind telling you, but how? How are you going to do it? How are you going to be provided for? It doesn't make any sense to leave a well-paying job to do something that's so insecure or unreliable. Is a lot of the ways that we tend to think. So let's unravel this, because this is something that I've been through and that I've encountered firsthand, and I've had to go through the motions of unraveling it. And so I've got a lot to share with you about this. All right, so let's delve into how to attract divine provision. So I hope you've been watching the other videos that I've been making recently. I've been doing one a week for the last 3 weeks. This is the fourth one on following your calling. And if you've been watching, you will have seen that there's a theme emerging. And this is really important. This is the underlying current of following your calling. It is all about being able to tap into the thought system of love, the thought system of your eternal nature, where you feel safe and connected and loved by all the universe. If you can tap into that energy, then you open up to guidance, you open up to a higher vibration that attracts the things around you that you need. You open up to the way to be shown to you for inspiration to come through you. And conversely, when you close in to that lower thought system of fear and doubt, it's like you block off the sunshine. It's like at the moment outside, it's very cloudy and very grey. Can't see the sun, but I know it's there. And that's what it's like when we get into these heavy moments of self-doubt. But you've got to ask yourself, what is the real you? And what are you going to believe in or trust? Is it going to be those cloudy, dense, heavy thoughts of limitation and doubt and fear? Are you going to put your belief in them, put your energy in them? Or are you going to get into a higher alignment and see it from a higher perspective? When you allow yourself to relax into a higher alignment by simply opening your heart or doing some grounding or remembering your eternal nature, some kind of meditation that tunes you into that, or it may be doing something joyful like dancing or singing, or something that gets you feeling really connected. When you tap into that energy, it's all there. It's all there. Like the reassurance is there, the clarity is there, the guidance is there. It's all there in that, but we get clouded over by these thoughts of fears and doubts, and they become so real for us that we don't even consider that we could break through and find a new way of looking at this, that there could actually be an easy, effortless solution to this problem. So I sometimes watch videos on YouTube by a woman called Sonia Choquette. I don't know if you've heard of her before, but she's just a really fun, bubbly, spiritual, beautiful woman, and she has this quote that I really like. She says, there's no lack of abundance, only a lack of creativity and imagination and a lack of connection to your higher guidance. That's really it. We just get ourselves in this funk where we get stuck in self-doubt, we get stuck in fear, and that just basically clouds over our ability to connect with the guidance that would show us the pathway forward. It's almost like we cut off our nose to spite our face. We just get caught in these loops of difficult self-sabotage. And so the way through that is to wake up within it. Realize that you're in a cycle of self-sabotage, that thoughts are going around and around, the self-doubt, the scary, fearful, visions of the future, and wake up and realize that this is just a passing moment. These are passing feelings. These are not who I am. They're not who I am. They're an experience I'm having. It's more true to say that what you really are is the sunshine, always shining behind the clouds. You're not those clouds that are passing through. It's more real to say, I am that constant shining sun. I'm going to get in touch with that and let that guide me rather than listening to those thoughts and fears. So the way that we find our way through is we start connecting to the thought system of love. So if you think about it, when you're in the energy of love, you're in the energy of abundance, aren't you? It's exactly the same thing. If you think about the last time you were in love, it might have been with a project or something that was happening in your life. Doesn't necessarily mean it was a person, but it could have been, or whatever. But in those moments of joyful, loving, happiness, fun and freedom, could you have even felt one little bit lacking? Not at all, right? When you're in the energy of love, you're in the energy of abundance. And what we've got to start to realize is that we can take our power back with regards to how abundant we feel, rather than having to have life do a certain thing, show up in a certain way, have results in this particular way to give us permission to feel abundant and provided for. We need to do it the other way round. So we need to open our hearts, come into a sense of gratitude, really, really open your heart. Have you ever felt that, where your heart is so open, so beaming, like someone looked at you psychically, you'd have a bright light just radiating? If you can get into an open heart, it's actually scientific that you open up into the larger network of electromagnetic fields and things around us. You open up into this higher network of ideas and inspiration and guidance, and you can actually see it and find it when you're in the energy of love. When you're in the energy of fear, as I said before, it's like you cloud yourself over. You think you're alone. You can't see any solutions. You would forget about the money that you saved and stuffed into a drawer a year ago, like the $500 that you thought, I'll put in there and I'll just keep that for when I need it. You wouldn't be able to remember about that when you were like in your cloudy, fearful energy. It's when you move those clouds and open up into love again that you remember, oh, I've got that money that I stored. Oh, I've got that person I could talk to. Oh, I've got this opportunity, or this particular way that I could go. But when we're in fear, we don't remember that. So we need to come back to love, come back to love, come back to love, no matter what is going on in your outside circumstances. Even if you feel as though there are things going on that mean that you're lacking, or that it's not working out the way that you thought, then all the more reason to tune in, open your heart and find abundance now. Look around you. Look at the abundant things in the room around you, outside. Appreciate the abundance of flowers in your garden, or the sunshine when actually comes out, or the books on your shelf, or the way that you can tune into anything you want on the internet. You can tap into all this information. I mean, there's so much abundance, so much abundance. There's no lack of abundance, only a lack of alignment with love. You're not lacking in abundance ever. You're only lacking in alignment with love in any moment. If you can tune into love in any moment, you've got it sorted, because all the answers are going to start to reveal themselves to you. The way is going to start to get shown to you, and your provision is going to start to show up, but you've got to be consistent about it. You can't just do it for 10 minutes, 1 month, and then expect everything to flow. You've got to stick to it. You've got to keep opening your heart. You've got to take your power back from outside conditions and make it your ability, no matter what's happening, to tune into love. If you know that you can feel abundant no matter what's happening around you, you start to not really care that much what's happening around you, because it doesn't make any difference. You can feel abundant no matter what's happening, and that is such true freaking empowerment that then it stops you from being worried about what's going to happen so much. You can just relax and flow. And do you know what happens when you start to relax and flow and feel more love? You start to experience more abundance. Life starts to give you more evidence of that in the outside world. So in terms of stepping out and following your calling, there are a couple of things I want to mention in regards to what I've just said. So if you are standing at the gate, as someone said to me the other day, standing at the gate, looking out and thinking, I can't go through that gate because I don't know how I'm going to be provided for, then you need to really get in touch with love within you and find that guidance within you, and ask yourself, what's more important to me? Is it following that overflow of love, or is it just staying so-called safe by holding myself back? So here's the thing, right, is that the mind has all of these silly things that it does that doesn't help with this. So what happened in my work, or what I had to overcome quite a while ago, was that I had all these expectations on my business. So my business has to provide me with this much money. I have to get this many clients. I have to have this many people on my workshop. It has to all happen like this, otherwise I'm a failure. And I'm putting all this pressure into this business that is my calling. It's me showing up and sharing my light and having fun, which in itself is the reward. Showing up, doing what you love, just enjoying it, being in the flow of it is the reward. Like, that is so much fun. And if you're in that energy, you're going to start attracting stuff around you. But what we do is we start to say, yeah, but I'm going to do this thing, but I need to get something from it. I need to be paid for it. I'm not just going to show up and do it. I need to have people who pay me. It needs to be this much money. And if it's not going to be that, then I'm not going to do it. But the thing is it's so limiting to think like that. And if you're going to think like that, you're never really going to get started. A better mindset to be in is, I love doing this, therefore I'm going to do it. Like, why would I hold myself back from doing something I love to do? Who gives a shit whether I get paid at the moment? I'm just going to do what I love to do, because it's its own reward just doing it. And I'm just going to see what happens and get in the flow of that. And what you'll find, that when you get into the energy of doing what you love, your vibration rises, and you start to attract things all around you. But the thing is, right, you don't always get the money from what you do, the work, the business, whatever. And this is another really important thing, that when you think it's going to be your light worker business that's going to be the thing that's going to give you millions of dollars or whatever, you can strangle the life out of it, trying to make it perform for you in that way. But what about this idea? when you open your heart and you go to work for love, you know, when you let love flow through you and you do what you're inspired to do and you live it and you be in that energy, then at that point, right, you are employed by a larger essence energy called love. You've put your personal self over there and love's using you. It's coming through you. It's talking through you. It's giving through you. It's sharing through you. It's doing whatever you do, your creative expression. Now, if love is your employer, then it's love that's going to pay you. But where is love? It's freaking everywhere, isn't it? It's the very fabric of our whole reality. It's the interconnective fiber that holds us all together. So love's going to provide for you, and it's going to come from anywhere and everywhere. It's not just going to come from your business, you know. So when you think that it is, and if you see that it's not, you know, it can make you feel like a failure, and there you go back again into self-doubt, and all of this stuff whirls around, and you stop yourself again for another 5 years from doing what you wanted to do. But ultimately, if you consistently stay in that energy of opening your heart, connecting with your guidance and your inspiration, bringing that through fearlessly, because it is so much fun, and if you just keep doing that, you're going to raise your vibration. You're going to get into an energy where you start to attract things around you. It might not come exactly from the people you're directly working with in your light worker business, but you know, there might be something happen where you don't have to pay that bill anymore. You know, for example, your expenses decrease. That's a form of abundance, right? You might get support from over here in this area of your life. You might get an inheritance, you know, who knows? Like, there are millions and millions and millions and countless and unlimited ways that abundance can flow. And when you go to work for love, then love becomes that conduit for abundance, and it can come from all over. And ultimately, when you know that it doesn't really matter so much what happens out there, because you've got the ability to connect in and feel abundant, to feel loved and loving, no matter what's happening outside, then you don't really care so much what's happening out there, because you can feel good anyway. And again, that just starts to bring more and more juicy stuff to your doorstep. So hey, this is my last live on here for a while, but I am running a masterclass very soon on Zoom, which is going to be a way that we can get together. I can actually see you and talk to you, which is going to be great. And I will be able to actually run you through a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about. So rather than just talking about it, I want to give you an experience of connecting with your deeper self, with your eternal nature. And I want to show you how you can shift out of your self-doubt and into that feeling of love, and how that feeling of love can show you a different story and give you a different angle and provide you with some guidance. And possibly at that masterclass too, we'll work on releasing the trapped emotional energy of that doubt or fear that's holding you back from moving into what it is that you want to do. So jump in and register. If you can't make it live, there's going to be a replay. Of course, it's always better to be there live. But anyway, it's free, as I said. So that's coming soon. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful rest of your day and enjoy yourself regardless of the weather. Lots of love to you all. Take care. See ya.